years back, I remember watching Detective Pikachu, and I thought to myself, how did this culture come into play? A culture where mythical creatures, known as obviously Pokemon, and humans live alongside each other and benefit from one another's existence. A culture where the society is shaped around not only us, but around Pokemon as well, battling them, training them, having them as a part of your everyday life, as companions, friends, etc. Well, all those questions were finally answered in this year's new Pokemon title, Pokémon Legends Arceus, in which you go to what is now modern-day Sinnoh region when it was at its peak, known as Hisui. Hisui was a primitive settlement where this whole culture came into play. It's when humanity first discovered Pokemon in a world inspired by ancient Japan. Essentially, this prequel title gives us insight as to how that culture formed, how humans learned to live alongside Pokemon, use them to battle, and gain a further understanding of the mythology and the lore behind these magnificent creatures. This game is absolutely phenomenal, adds so much to the table, and I'm going to tell you why in a bit. You're watching LA Tech Trends Review on Pokémon Legends Arceus. Now let's get to the bread and butter of this game, the gameplay. The gameplay in this game is unlike any other Pokemon game that's ever come out. Let's be honest here, guys. Pokemon's got the typical gameplay that we've come to expect in the past 20 years, but this game is a sprawling open world, and it gives you the option to battle wild Pokemon or not. I remember sometimes in the older titles, I would be so annoyed just walking through a bush and you're forced to fight these wild Pokemon that essentially give no advantage to your players' XP, HP, whatever. But in this title, you have the option to throw a Pokeball or a Pokemon at said wild Pokemon. So you have the option to initiate battle or not. Not only that, but battles are conducted in a more free roam fashion. You can actually run around the battlefield as your Pokemon duke it out. And that is just so cool and just adds a sense of realism to a game that always seemed so closed and linear. I love the inclusion of an open world because it gives this game meaning. It gives this world life, and it makes it feel as though you're actually there. It's the most immersive Pokemon experience I've ever had the pleasure of enjoying. It's not only the inclusion of more free roam style gameplay in an open world that makes this title terrific, but also the inclusion of utilizing the Pokemon that you fight in boss battles. Yes, this game has boss battles in which you throw bombs at legendary Pokemon, and when you throw these bombs at these creatures and you finally defeat them, you acquire the ability to use these creatures to your advantage to navigate the harsh terrain of the Hisui region, whether that's water, mountainsides, etc., etc. You can literally navigate everywhere with some of these legendary Pokemon, and it adds so much variety to the gameplay and adds new tactics never seen before in the franchise. I mean, it's absolutely outstanding how much they added to the table with gameplay. Although other Pokemon titles such as Sword and Shield have a far larger roster, I really love the new Pokemon you get to discover in Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's definitely not the amount that I would have wanted from an open world Pokemon game. I always find myself running into the same Pokemon, but the amount that is included in this new title is just enough to keep me refreshed and just enough to keep the gameplay interesting and to have me wanting to upgrade these creatures to see further evolutions, and that's all that matters essentially. Now let's look at the storyline. The storyline of the game is basically as mythological as it gets. You're sent by God, a mythical force, to heal the wounds of a dying world, Hisui. And at the end of the game, you know essentially what happens. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you're basically sent by God to save the world. And in the process, you make new friends, you meet new factions, and factions are a major part of this game. Unfortunately, you only get to be a part of one faction, but you do see how the politics of these various actions interact and spill into each other's business, essentially. It's very interesting how this is implemented, and it adds a new sense of perspective into the Pokemon universe. The characters you meet along the way are all unique in their own sense. They all have their own personality traits, and they're very likable. I'll give it that. They're very likable. I did not want to miss a moment of the text in this game. I wanted to read everything. I wanted to analyze everything, because what was going on was genuinely interesting, and it kept me invested. This is a spoiler-free review, so I'm going to try to keep it short, but if you are a fan of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, you're definitely going to have to play this game. It bridges a lot of gaps and is a true prequel title to those games and to the Pokemon series in general. It's a fantastic time, and I'm shocked that some critics gave it a 7 out of 10. In fact, companies like IGN gave this game a 7 out of 10, where they give a shitty Call of Duty title a 10? Seriously, guys? This is the most revolutionary Pokemon game we've had in years, and it shows. There's much love put into this world, there's so much dedication, and I'm sure the development team knew what they were doing, and this is a step in the right direction. This is what we needed. Weren't you all sick and tired of the same linear formula? I mean, the fact that we're getting open world Pokemon titles, and with the announcement of the latest two, I'm just beyond excited, and I can only see better things to come in the future. Aside from a few technical issues, I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10. It's nearly perfect and absolutely a blast to play. Thanks for watching LA Tech Trends, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.